You know what? I'm lightheaded. Let's talk about Tales of the Abyss.
Okay.
Tales of the Abyss. This shit was wild because there's two countries, Moscow and Valdir, and the other one.
Big name and other big name.
Red and blue.
Okay.
Simple. Your main character comes from the red side.
Cool.
Okay. Fucking communism. It's not really communism. Everyone has a fucking king and a queen, and I'm lightheaded. Anyway, your character is the son of a duke. Okay. And he has a homie named Guy, and he has a teacher named Van. Okay. One day, this motherfucker starts to train with Van. Oh my god, I'm lightheaded. But Guy is like, oh my god, you had a headache. Are you okay? Because your character had a headache in the fucking beginning of the game. He woke up going, what the fuck? And then Guy was like, hey, you good? You were screaming. And then he was like, I'm good. I just had a headache. And then he just fucking gets up and goes to train.
As you do.
Yeah. Anyway, he's been having those headaches since he was like 7 because he got kidnapped and he was dropped off. And the family was like, what the fuck happened to you? And he goes, I don't fucking know. I just know I got kidnapped, bitch.
So is it PTSD?
Fuck if I know, you'll figure that out later on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Anyway.
So the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
So, he goes and trains with Van. And Van is like, hey, don't be a bitch, hit me. So they start training. Then BAM! A fucking assassin comes. And she's like, my name is Tyr. Van, I've come to kill you. And she swings a blow at like Van, but you're cool motherfucking self goes psych, and he blocks it, and then some magic shit happens, aka the 7th phonon. There are multiple phonons in this world. See, this world is based around music for magic. All right, so phonons essentially equal hymns. So there's 7 major hymns. 7th hymn is like
it's Earthbound.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, probably now because I'm like. But so. The 7th hymn is like legendary. No one fucking has that shit. It's also like particles essentially. So phonons are hymns and particles, mainly particles, right? And so your character has a 7th phonon. Tyr, the assassin bitch, has a 7th phonon.
Okay.
Bam! They hit. It's like a goddamn nuke. Okay, it's like a motherfucking nuke.
So 2 7th phonons equals a big explosion of badness.
Yes.
Okay.
And with these two, instead of an explosion, what happened was they got teleported, which is a weird fucking thing. Later on, your main character accidentally murders an entire country. But that's a separate story.
Would you? Okay. I'm gonna offhandedly throw that out there. Back to the story.
Actually, it wasn't even a fucking story. It wasn't even a fucking country. It was a big-ass city. Either way, a lot of deaths, his fault. He gets fucking depressed. Anyway, back to the beginning. They get fucking teleported out of there. Fun fact, they got teleported to the other fucking country that he's not used to. He's also a spoiled bitch. Okay, this motherfucker has no redeeming qualities till about the 2nd act after he murders everyone.
Oh, wow.
Because he's like, shit, I fucked up! And he gets in a coma. But,
as most characters like that do.
Yeah.
So he ends in the other country, right? And he's never spent money before. Everything's been bought for him. He's a literal spoiled bitch. And Tyr is very understanding. She's like, hey, you shouldn't take that apple and eat it in front of the man whenever you didn't pay for it. And he goes, but why? And she's fucking, because you didn't pay for it. And he goes, my people will. And I just want to slap the shit out of him. Anyway, move the fuck on. Your character eventually fucking, he's like chilling out. I can't remember where. They go to a forest. That's where they go. They go to a forest to get to a different city. And they run into a dude named Jade Curtis. And they run into another girl named Annis. And they're like, Annis is like fucking 10 and Jade Curtis is like 38. They're both soldiers. Annis is the only reason she's a fucking soldier is because she's the guardian and protector of fucking Ion, who is a goddamn priest. He's the neutral state. He's like Sweden. Sweden's the neutral one, right?
Usually, I think.
Yeah, okay, so he's like Sweden, okay? So he runs a church state. Then he's like 10.
Okay.
And eventually they go through the forest because he needs to get to the other area, and he's also like found Ion. He's like, Ion, why the fuck are you in a forest? And he's like, I found some cool furry bitches and I followed them. And your character's like, what the fuck is is wrong with you? But then you just help try to get out, and then a big-ass monster comes, and Anis and Jade have to come by, and they're like level 30 by that point. You're level 10, and you're like, ooh, I want them on my team. Not even 30 minutes later, this motherfucker gets a plot device strapped to him and drops him down to level 8. Fucking pisses me the fuck off. But anyway, it's because they were attacked by one of them, like a big terrorist group. I can't remember their fucking name. But they all have cool names like Ash the Bloody. Like, come on, that's pretty fucking dope. And
That's
anyway,
pretty fucking dope.
you realize that Ash the Bloody looks kind of fucking familiar because he has the same red fucking hair, the same character model as your main character, just different hairstyle. And you're like, wait a fucking minute. What the fuck's going on here? And then he disappears. You don't see him for a little while. And you're like, what? What? What?
You don't talk about it?
They don't talk about it for a little while. And plot devices on you on fucking Jade, so he's weak. And then you run into Guy because Guy was looking for you the entire time. And he somehow managed to get to the other fucking continent. He was like, hey, how you doing? I found you. And your character's like, what the fuck? How'd you find me? And he goes, well, first of all, you didn't pay for that goddamn apple.
We're kind of a fucking paper trail.
Anyway, so fucking he starts getting dragged into this whole goddamn thing, and Tyr finally explains to him, look, the reason I was trying to kill Van is because he comes from this place underneath the crust of the earth, because the crust of the earth isn't actually on the actual earth, it's raised up because there's a whole miasma poison thing beneath it. By the way, I live down there because we have a shield around it, but you guys can't live down there because you don't have shields around it. And your character's like, what the fuck? And same. I was like, what the fuck?
Do they just keep thrusting shit onto you?
No, it's paced better, but it's fucking wild, dog. So, anyway, she mentions that shit, and your character's like, bullshit. And she's like, well, did you notice that, an entire fucking section of the continent fell? And he was like, well, yeah, I just thought that was an earthquake. And he was like, well, psych, you want to jump down there into the goddamn poison, bitch? And he goes, I'm good. Anyway, Van wants to do this whole terrorist plan to drop the entire goddamn earth back to where it should be, which is understandable, but that murders everyone in the goddamn process. So, bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tyr finally explains all of that shit. Everyone's like, oh my god, it's so bad. And then you finally get the backstory for, like, everyone. And Jade, turns out he was a goddamn alchemist who accidentally murdered his fucking boss and his goddamn best friend because of he wanted to be the best scientist, and he's fucking traumatized by it, and he don't want to fuck with 7 phonons because that's what he fucked with to kill both them people. And Anis is just a fucking innocent person who just happens to have a goddamn teddy bear that turns into a giant bear. Fucking Ion is a goddamn replica. Your main character is a goddamn replica. When he was kidnapped in the beginning of the game, motherfucker, they copied his ass and sent him back. And we're like, maybe he'll die eventually. Nope, this motherfucker lived. And then they were like, that's why he keeps on getting headaches. Because replicas can talk to each other via weird fucking brain links. And Ash the Bloody keeps on trying to talk to him like, hey, motherfucker, listen to me. Listen to me, motherfucker. Kill Van. I'm part of this. I don't want to be part of this. Kill Van! And it doesn't work out. He never hears it. He just gets a massive headache. And, shit happens. Now, this is the point.
You can't. Hold on. You just explained a lot of random shit that came out of nowhere. You can't just say,
Shit happens.
You probably missed like 8 plot points.
I did forget Natalie. Okay, Natalie.
The fuck is Natalie?
Natalie is the princess that your character is betrothed to. Okay? This is like established in the beginning of the game, but you never meet her until like halfway through the game. Because now you go like, after you're back to your continent, you have to actually meet your goddamn fiance. And she's like, hey, I've missed you so much. And your character's like, shit, I'm married to you. Wait, what? No, I'm not married. I'm betrothed. What the fuck? And she goes, yeah, we're going to be happy. And he goes, sure. And she joins the party, and she's a healer, so that's pretty cool. But fuck her, I never had her on my team. She was a piece of shit. I had Tyr. She was the best healer, best girl in the game. But
Wait, did you just say an assassin was a healer?
yeah,
Alright.
So she was like the assassin, but she's really a healer. She's like a mage bitch. Jade's a mage. Fucking Guy's a swordsman, and your character's a swordsman. Annis is a bear person.
That's the greatest class I've ever heard.
Yes, bear person.
And then Natalie is an archer. Anyway, where the fuck was I? Right, after Natalie joined the party and some shit, you actually go back to the other continent because you need to like fight Van because he's like in a city, and you're like, oh, that's where Van is. Let's go there. And your character by this point still hasn't had a revelation, and he still doesn't fully believe that he's bad. So he gets on a one-on-one with Van, and Van starts to like fuck with his brain. He's like, look, I'm trying to do the good here. Everyone's lying. The world will end, and I'm trying to stop it. And your character's like, okay, what do you want me to do? I'll help you. What do I gotta do? Alright, you know that setting the phone on shit? Yeah. Okay, put your hand out and just focus really hard. And then he did it, and then the whole city fucking collapsed into the ground, and everybody fucking died. And then he was panicking, and then the whole party came by and rescued him, and they were like, you're a fucking idiot! Stop it! You're an idiot! And he's like, I'm sorry! And then he has a whole emotional breakdown, and they're just chilling out down in the miasma pits, but they have
they survived dropping?
because they sprinted like to the ship because shit happened. Because he was like, oh no, everything's going down, so they tried to get as many people as they can onto the big ass ship called the Tartarus. It's a land ship.
It's a land ship, but it fell.
Yeah,
And
it also doubles as the airship and a fucking boat.
So it's like one of those. It's like an
All-terrain.
All terrain.
Including air.
I'll buy it.
Yeah. So
I'll buy it.
It fucking falls down too, and they get as many people as they can on it, but he fucking wiped out the entire city. Nobody came back from that unscathed. Everybody was fucking dead. Fucking anyway, they were down there, and Jade was like, "You're a punk bitch. Why'd you listen to him?" And your main character is like, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I thought it was the right thing to do. It just seemed like the right thing." And Tyr was like, "I fucking told you he was a bad guy. I fucking told you he was
Fucking called it.
I fucking told you. He's my brother. He's a bad guy. I told you this." And he goes, "But I just fucking..." And he starts bitching and crying, and then I can't remember what the fuck happens, but he ends up in a coma. Kind of. And then Ash the Bloody takes his spot because he kind of betrays the other people. He goes behind their backs because he's one of since he's one of the 7 people that are like really strong, they can go and fuck off and do whatever they want. And they don't really give a shit on it because they're always like, we're going to do this together. So he just kind of fucks off from them for a little while.
So, main character, he's got a doppelganger. That's Ash.
And he's the real one. Ash is the real one.
Ash is the real one.
Yes.
And the main character you've been playing as
Is the replica.
And we're supposed to think that he wants to be the good guy, but he's really a bad guy on the inside.
Who? The main character?
Yes, this guy.
He's actually a good guy. He's just stupid.
But you said that whatever his name was fucked with his head and made Van fucked with his head and
because Van was his idol. He was the only person that treated him like a person instead of you shouldn't do this. He didn't spoil him that much.
Okay.
So he respected him, and he always wanted to be on his good side. So he's he's always his teacher's pet. So that's why he fucked with his head, because he knows he can manipulate him easy.
Okay.
Which is what made him go, okay, we can stop this. I just need to focus on the 7th phone on and do this. And Van used him as a terrorist bomb.
Okay, so dude's now in a coma.
Dude's now in coma.
Now, regular guy,
Ash, yeah.
Ash, he flips and is now good.
No, he's fucking weird. Because he has his own agenda. Because he's pissed off at the fact that he was fucking kidnapped and never had a childhood.
I would be too.
Yeah, which is why he wants to kill everyone. So he's not necessarily good. He just wants to go against the bad guys and do shit his own way. Anti-hero.
Okay.
Like
so
bad.
not good, not bad, neutral, but against bad anyway.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes. Honestly, yeah. Anyway, so he joins the party and he's like, look, I'll help you get the fuck out of here. We need to go stop Van. Everybody's like, okay, cool. You're a part of the party now. You're better than him. And Tyr decides not to leave with them because she's like, I'll stay and take care of the coma kid. And everybody's like, okay, cool. And while he's in a coma, since they have that connection, this is the first time he can actually see what the other person sees. So it's not just a one-way connection, it's a two-way connection. so they can talk to each other if they ever like get better at it.
So he's in a coma, but he can still think and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's just witnessing everything through Ash's perspective.
Man, that must suck.
Yes, because everybody likes him so much more. But they don't say it. They don't fucking say
Everybody likes my twin more.
it. Not even the real him. He's not supposed to exist. One of the main songs is called "The Meaning of Birth," and he's not supposed to exist.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
so he
That's
sees
rough.
all this, and everybody's got really cool with him right off the bat. They like the way he fights. They like the way he thinks. He's like, that's a good plan. Yeah, let's do that. And he's got all jealous while he's in a goddamn coma, while Tyr's sitting over here going, it's okay, you'll wake up eventually. And she already kind of does like him, even though he's kind of an idiot. And he likes her too, but he doesn't fucking know that. Because he's like, you don't do what I say, bitch. Tell me what the fuck I'm supposed to do. I'm a lost motherfucker. And anyway... Guy, which is like his best friend, is like, yeah, cool. He still doesn't trust Ash, which is understandable. Have a healthy like distance, and
3 feet. Let's call it even.
yeah. But eventually, like after Ash is like on his way back from doing the whole mission with them, like the whole team's coming back. He snaps out of his coma because honestly I can't remember why. He just wakes up.
Reasons.
Yeah, plot. So he wakes up and he realized everything that happened, and he just kind of sits down and he's like, I need to change because everybody fucking hates him. So he's like, I need to be better. So what happens is he goes, hey Tyr, can I borrow one of your knives? And she's like, what? What the fuck are you gonna do with that? And he goes, don't worry. And then he walks to the goddamn like garden where it looks like he's gonna fucking kill himself in a bunch of white lilies. So it's gonna be real dramatic. He kills himself. And then Tyr's standing there like, oh shit, don't do it. I swear to God, I don't do it. Don't do it. And then he like raises up the knife and she's like, don't do it. Don't do it. And he goes, I cut my hair. Yeah. That's it.
I'm a new man!
He cut his hair, and that signified a change in character, because guess what, motherfuckers? Haircuts change characters!
So, pause real quick. What point in the story is this?
This is
like
like-
percentage.
This is like
68% of the way through.
Okay. I thought we were still in like the 40% range.
no, we're like 68-70% around there.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't touch a lot of the minor things,
Mm-hmm.
which like are character development shit, where it's like, hey, these characters like each other because of this. I just skipped all that bullshit. Here's the big shit.
Fast forward through the dialogue.
Yeah. It's just mache. But
Okay.
so he has that change of character, and he's like, thank you, Tyr. And she's like, wow, that's the first time you didn't say that like an asshole. And he's like, yeah,
Hey, you're right!
I'm a new man! And then everybody comes along like, hey, bitch! But they don't really say it like that. They're like, oh, you're awake. And he's like, yeah, let's get this down. And Jay Darty, suspicious motherfucker, where he's like, what did you do? What city did you kill this time? And he's like, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna change. And Ash is like, yeah, right. Sure. And Guy's like, I'm all for this. Yeah, you do this, buddy. Woo! Come on. Anyway, all that happens. Now, they find Van in like the place where Tyr was born, right down in the miasma, that city with the dome.
Mm-hmm.
And Van's like, ooh, shit. And he fucking dips. Like real fast. He dips fast. He takes, I think he steals like a sword, or he steals something. Like, I think one of the hymns, which is like a really powerful hymn, something like that. He takes something from there that's really powerful and can essentially destroy the entire fucking world. But, fucking, because that's, the main guy's like, yeah, it's okay, you'll get him. And your character's like, will we?
I don't believe you.
That's bullshit. You can fight 4 of us by yourself and not be you. I'll tell you this, mother. So what happens is when your party dies, you can get like your 2 backups to jump on the field. I have to use those motherfuckers, okay? My main guys died, and I just had Guy and Anis on the field, and I was like, Guy, please don't fail me now. Anyway, so you go and talk to like the head honcho of that city, and he's like, you need to get that thing back. And your character's like, bet.
Plan already.
On it. And then they go back to the surface roll, and all shit's broken loose. There's a whole fucking war fighting on the goddamn collapsing terrain. Oh, no. So the war is happening, but the collapsing terrain isn't happening yet.
Not yet.
So red and blue are fighting each other right now because they're blaming each other for what's happening to the world.
They weren't fighting in the beginning?
They were talks of like, maybe we should fight them, but we don't have a reason to.
Okay.
They just really don't like each
So
other.
like a Cold War type shit?
Yeah. It's like Montagues and Capulets, right?
That's immediately the first thing I thought. Like red and blue, Montague Capulet. Is there like a girl on the other side you like?
On the other side, there's a really cool king. He's better than your king. Actually, I don't think you've ever seen your side's king. You only see your dad, and that's it. But here's a cool thing. So that happens, right? So you go to like this pillar that has like all the phonons going through it. Imagine a giant ass tuning fork.
Okay.
Because music. So it's a giant thing made out of like pearl or some shit. I don't know, but it has magic fun around that bitch.
I'll just blindly accept that.
Yep.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Since you said the word magic, blindly accept it.
And your character's like, wow, I've never seen this before. And Jade's like, because you're an uncultured fuck. And your character's like, well, I've been fucking trapped in my house for about 18 years. And he goes, well, that's your fault. You got kidnapped. And
Wow.
anyway, they fucking go through it. And they get to the top and they find Van. And Van's like, ooh, you got here faster than I expected. Bye. I'm going to be someplace you guys will never expect. And honestly, it was a place nobody ever expected because it was Guy's hometown. Guy's hometown is a floating city called Hod. Hod collapsed a long time ago because Kamlaska Landvaldir is kind of like imperialistic and wants to like take all this shit for them, you know?
Okay.
So Hod was a floating city. Kamlaska decided, fuck that floating city, it's gonna be mine.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, the main character's dad murdered Guy's family directly in front of him.
Uh-oh.
And he had to hide underneath the bodies and corpses of his mom and sister.
Oh, so the most tragic backstory.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't like touching women, because he's afraid of that.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow. The most tragic backstory.
Yeah,
You can't even have sex, dude.
Yeah, no,
Fuck.
Actually, wait, there's
PTSD to the max.
it's so funny because nobody knows it, and you don't know this until like that point. But like the entire game, every girl on the team's like making fun of him and like trying to poke at him, and he has like a fucking panic attack every time. Like, don't stop! And they're like, just making fun of his PTSD and shit, and nobody knows that. And there was a certain point
Fucking
where
rough.
there's a certain point like when they're trying to get to Hod, they're climbing a cliff, and something happens. He's like falling. And he grabs onto like one of the things, and the only people left in the party are him and the girls, and he really has to decide, do I want to live? He's really thinking,
Will PTSD be my death?
and like she like tears like grab my hand, and he goes, I don't know if I can, but I don't know, man. And like he honestly looks like he's trying, but he just can't like go. He's like, fine, I'll go. Okay. Anyway, that happens.
Did he get over his PTSD?
Slightly. He's still kind of like, he can't like hug a person like for prolonged periods of time, but he can definitely do a handshake.
Do a high five.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, good job. Don't touch me again.
Don't get near me.
What? Yeah, we're not naked.
Just letting y'all know to clean up because it's almost time to go.
Okay.
Alright.
But all that happens, right?
Okay.
And so they get to Hod, and Ash was already there. Ash was like, look, man, I've been following him for a while. I just can't fight him like one-on-one. And then the whole party gets separated, right? Because Van had like traps around. So now all that's left is you're playing as the main character going through, and then you reach the door before the staircase where like all the characters kind of meet up, because that's where they all meet up, like a central place.
Okay.
And it's a big arena circle kind of thing, and it's you and Ash. And Ash goes, I'm the real one. I have to stop this. And your character's like, but I'm the one who started all this. I have to finish this. And he goes, you're just a replica of me. And then the whole song kicks off, Meaning of Birth. And you have to fight each other to the death. So
They couldn't just be like, hey, we're the same, why don't we both go fuck them up?
they couldn't do that. Because Ash was
Some
too
little
hell-bent.
bitches.
Ash was too hell-bent on stopping it himself.
Oh.
He's like to the
It's
point.
because he was an asshole.
Yeah, he was an asshole. So they stop each other. They're like wailing at each other essentially, and then Ash eventually obviously loses because you're the main character, and he just kind of stops and says,
There's a sweet irony because the replica's better than the original.
yeah, and he looks at him
Tee.
and he goes, "Don't lose." And then he just fucking keels over. His last words
Don't
were,
tarnish my name.
"Don't lose, bitch." There was so much venom on the fucking
Taunting him
line.
to the death.
Like, he was a dick all the way through.
Damn.
But he was strong. Like, your character made it through by the grace of God. And the fact that he was supposed to lose. Because of plot. Anyway, you get up there and you kick the shit out of Van, and Van's like, "I can't lose." And you eventually kill him.
Basic
And,
villain shit.
Eventually it goes down to you versus Van, because the entire party is like kind of beat up by that point, because cutscene.
Cuts.
And you and Van are just wailing at each other. And then it gets to the point where like Van starts to use his 7th phone on that he stole, and you use your 7th phone on, so that place starts crumbling and collapsing and destroying. And Tyr's like, "Harry, you should come over here. I can make a really strong barrier. He'll die alone. You can come over here." But like, you already know that Van won't die from that, so your main character just fights anyway. So he's like, "Fuck it, protect yourselves." And it's like the ultimate sacrifice. And then the game kind of ends there with you saving everything, and all your friends lived and survived.
But you die.
Kind of.
Of course.
So after the credits,
Of course.
like 3 years have passed, or something like that. An amount of time has passed, and it was the reunion of all the guys meeting up, and they all stand where Hod collapsed, where it like sank into the sea, and they're all standing there and just looking out into the ocean, and somebody, not necessarily your character, and not Ash, but same red hair. Your character had his hair short by that time. Ash had his hair long, but he had a different shade of color. But a character walks up with the outfit.
Middle hair.
A character walks up with the outfit of, like, it's a weird blend of Ash and your character's outfit, and he has the long hair and the same color hair as the main character. Because what had happened was the 7th phonons of both of them merged throughout those years of waiting. So they were just
Fusion.
It was fusion ha.
Holy shit! It was a
Vegito.
fucking fusion day.
So they became one.
The true main character.
Now here's the thing that I always... It ends there. It ends with Tyr crying, your love interest, because she sees you. But here's the thing. Ash and Natalie had a thing. Luke, which is the main character, and Tyr had a thing.
Oh.
Who the fuck do they go with? And I always thought that. Where's the ending? Where's the end? Who does he fuck? What? Who does he stick his dick in? Is it Natalie?
That's the
Is it
most.
Tyr?
It's the most important part of
And
the
then it
whole
fucking
game.
ends. That's it. It's one of the best Tales of games.
The real ending was that he got to fuck both.
Fucking maybe. I don't know, man. Threesome, but I don't know if. I don't know. I really don't know if Natalie would be okay with that. I really don't. Oh yeah, and they ended because of like all that happened. Tyr had like enough 7 phonons because there was a congregation of them to slowly lower the Earth's crust because it was already falling, and it was falling kind of quickly. So she managed to slow it all down, hard, and it hurt her a lot.
Fair enough.
And she slowed it down, and it got over the miasma, and she immediately just like, barrier over every city, barrier over every city, hurry before you die. And that's the ending.
Well, that was
That was Tales of the Abyss with Joseph Aguilar.
next week.